Bonnie Blue has been the biggest topic of conversation online for months now, and I very intentionally haven't spoken about her for reasons that we will get onto this video. But following the announcement of her collaboration and endorsement of one of the worst human beings on the internet right now, I figured that now would be the right time to step in and actually talk about this woman, what she's done, who she is, why people don't like her, and finally, how I feel about her, as well as the wider issues that this whole sort of topic has brought to light. But before that, we should, state the obvious, which is that you, statistically, are not subscribed to the channel, and you need to get around to doing that right now. I've actually been getting told by a lot of you that you've been forcefully unsubscribed from the channel against your will, so I guess YouTube are trying to censor me for my annoying English accent. Perhaps I'll just go American for the next video and completely alienate whatever new audience members happen to pop along. Either way, don't let YouTube violate your rights and get subscribed to the channel. And if you don't remember ever being subscribed, that's just your mind playing tricks on you. You definitely were, so you should resubscribe. Come back. The children miss you. On a real, the obvious thing is that I've moved home, so apology for the lack of videos recently. I've been in the thick of moving. The background here is gonna change as the videos go on. It's a little barren right now. It's not set in stone by any means, so hopefully as the weeks go by, you'll see it become a bit more, I guess, colorful. Not in terms of actual colors, but more just like coolness, for lack of a better word. Anyways, at the very core of what Bonnie Blue does, she is a English pornographic film actress. And yes, heads up for the remainder of this video, we're not going to use any pseudo-awful names like pornography. We're going all in. We're going in raw. Something which, to her credit, Bonnie doesn't do, at least publicly. There's not a lot of positives in this video, so you gotta pick them out when they show themselves on very rare occasions. I would say the start of Bonnie Blue's infamy was when she started targeting barely legal teens to feature in her porn videos. She was 26 at the time of the videos that I'm about to show you, or maybe 25, but either way, there's not much difference. It's just as grim. We are going to cover a lot more of the recent stuff as well, so don't you worry. This will be a whole sort of retrospective of the last couple months of this woman, but I feel as though starting from here is a good place for context, because there are some of you that probably don't know who she is as well. And to all those people, well, I apologize in advance.
Hey boys, first of all, congratulations on getting into uni. Secondly, I think it's about time I treat you to say congratulations.
It started off so wholesome there, like it was a message that I really agreed with, and it's one that I would like to parrot to the audience as well, because it's the end of the, I guess, educational year here in the UK. I'm not sure about America, but either which way, I would like to congratulate all of my viewers who have managed to get into university, especially if it's one that they particularly wanted to go to. I will not, however, be offering you the same treat that Bonnie is here. And if it's not obvious by the, I guess, sultry look behind those dead eyes, the treat here in question is a shag, I guess. And in Nottingham, of all places, by the way, obviously, the Americans won't know what Nottingham is unless there's like an American knockoff of it, which there are a lot of, to be fair. Like every city here has an equivalent over there. But Nottingham isn't unless maybe she's a local there. I don't know why she would travel to Nottingham, of all places. It's not the most glamorous city in the world. It's a decent uni, though, I suppose. It's just a little strange. Like, surely go to Oxford or Cambridge or, I don't know, maybe even London. Like, that would be okay. A lot more recognizable. To be fair, Nottingham could just be the sort of first step in a long flight of stairs. I honestly, she might have plans to go through the whole fucking Ivy League. And this is all happening during Freshers Week, as you can see from the caption there, which for the Americans in the audience who don't know what Freshers Week, I think Freshers is more of like a UK Australian term. It's basically undergrad in university. Like the first year of university, you're called a fresher. And Freshers Week is the first week of your first year, where there's a lot of clubbing, a lot of partying, a lot of getting acclimated to the culture, because a lot of people have just moved home for the very first time, and they're nervous as fuck, and they want to cover up their nerves with alcohol and partying, basically. But when Freshers dies down, people notoriously are left to the existential dread that they were avoiding for so long, because you can only run away from it for so long. But not to worry, because Bonnie Blue is here to save the day, so let's see what else she has to say.
If your society hasn't messaged me already, then please do so, because I would love to compare and see which one's best, of course. Okay, so some of the key questions I keep getting asked about freshers is, how long do you have? Everyone gets given a 2-hour time slot, and within that 2 hours, you can go for as many rounds as you like. You can finish wherever you want. You can come alone, or you can come with a big group of you. As long as you're having fun, I'm all good.
Okay, I'm gonna be brutally honest with everyone watching, right? I have checked this woman's Twitter, and there are a lot of videos of a lot of the, I guess, events that she is describing here. Oh god, it's making me cringe thinking about it, because that fucking Twitter genuinely traumatized me. I couldn't find any videos of the Nottingham Freshers Week, and actually, I guess, sort of verify if they were actually the freshers from Nottingham. I don't know if this is a thing that actually happened, or if it was marketing. It's still grim either way, don't get me wrong, but there are a few qualifying factors that I feel as though need to be made clear. Firstly, the whole sort of characterization, or not even characterization, like these are barely legal teens, right? 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. And that category of pornography, I suppose, is very popular on the internet, on basically every porn website. And as much of a problem as it is, it's not the same as what's going on here, because when you title a video 18-year-old or freshly legal teen or whatever, some disgusting shit like that, on an actual pornography website, the whole point of it is to entice people to, I guess, pleasure themselves to said video. Whereas here, I don't think that's the goal. I think the goal is to annoy people who are, I guess, bothered by that phrasing or that sort of form of marketing. Like Bonnie Blue, as we'll see from a lot of the videos that come later on in this video, has an entire career predicated upon making TikToks and shorts just so that commentary YouTubers like myself can make videos on them and further bolster her popularity. And that is partly the reason why I haven't made a video on her yet, because I feel slightly like a dickhead for adding on to what she clearly wants. Me talking about these videos and talking about her as I am right now means that she's won, sadly. And the same goes for basically everybody who makes videos on this woman, by the way. I do sincerely hope that this isn't a real thing and that she wasn't actually sort of traveling to each and every society in Nottingham University and trialing these teenagers. I'm slightly optimistic that it didn't happen, purely because I feel as though this is something that the university themselves, you'd hope at least, would get intervened with or involved with or put a stop to, hopefully. Maybe Nottingham University was picked specifically because they don't have that sort of safeguarding. But I don't know, man. Nottingham is a pretty popular, sort of prestigious uni. Like, it's not Oxford or nothing, but it's up there. Like, it's a big one. I'd like to think that whoever runs this, they definitely got sent Bonnie Blue coming over to sort of commit carnage in the city. If there wasn't at least a public statement or some sort of PSA on the Nottingham Freshers website or whatever it was, I would be sorely disappointed and scared. I feel like there's almost some nepotism going on here. Or blackmail. Maybe Bonnie has the, what do they call it, the head teacher of principal? Oh, principal. Not head teacher is secondary school. I meant principal. My girlfriend don't want me to take credit for rewording the statement there, so just know that she yelled it from outside the door.
This Saturday, 14th of September, I'm going to be in Nottingham outside Penny Lane doing interviews. I want to ask you one question, and I promise after that, you can take me straight to the bedroom. So if I haven't replied to your message just yet, just come and say hi. So I thought I'd give you an update on today. I'm going to be sleeping with 28 uni students in total. My biggest group is going to be 15, and it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to celebrate you getting into uni. And as always, you can go for as many rounds as you want. You can finish wherever you want. And yeah, let's just have some fun. Okay, so I just finished filming, so ignore the hoodie, and I've got 15 minutes until the next guy's here, and the bed is broke, and I'm only on day one, so oops.
You know, there's a difference between hoping that the people
so I'm very
fucking
excited.
shut up, Bonnie Blue. A difference between sort of hoping that the people in these videos, if they have been, I didn't scroll that far back on the Twitter, to be honest with you all. I just couldn't hack it. As much as I hope that they were actors and not actual uni students who just messaged her and turned up there, I don't know if that's true, so I can't say it for sure. Either way though, marketing yourself like this is grim. The whole barely legal teen sort of phenomenon is a stain. It's one of the biggest problems with the pornography industry. I mean, unfortunately, probably the biggest proponent or biggest porn actress in the world right now would be somebody who is trying to, I guess, make a change for good in the industry. Unfortunately, that's not what's happening at all, though, and the person at the top is only strengthening the worst parts of said industry. And I would like to make it clear at this point in the video as well that I am not anti-sex work in the least. While sex work as a form of labor is obviously different from other forms of labor, at the end of the day, it is still work and it is still labor, and I'm very much pro giving them the same rights that other occupations have. Things like unions, labor laws, the ability to sue brothel owners, for example, like Belgium. Belgium, I think, is the first country that has given sex workers the same laws and rules as every other occupation, and it seems to have gone pretty well. And I feel as though that's another really sad component of this whole situation that people neglect to talk about, is that Bonnie Blue is making life harder for sex workers as well. People in her own industry. It's almost as though she wants to be at the top and chuck everyone else aside. And there's certain types of people in industries that want to get to the top and bring people with them because I guess they find it fun or they care about their friends or whatever. But Bonnie just seems to be like, there's something up here. I can't quite find a way to phrase it, but there's something going on. You need to be a very specific type of person to act the way that she is online, because Bonnie Blue very clearly does not give a fuck about public perception, which is very strange for a public figure. I'd say one of the biggest reasons why people are angry at her is because she just hasn't stopped despite the sheer amount of commentary videos being made on her, viral TikToks being made on her, critiquing her, people of all facets of life basically begging her to stop doing this sort of thing. If anything, all that does is seem to give her strength. It genuinely seems as though she thrives off of this negativity, like an energy vampire. There really are a lot of conversations to be had in this video, fuck me, but I don't want to talk too long without playing something, so let's watch more of this shit.
Okay, the next ones. I'm still not dressed. I still have, you know what, on my face. But I feel bad. I can't keep these guys waiting anymore, so sorry boys if the bed's wet. Okay, so today I'm going to be sleeping with 23 barely legal 18-year-olds. I'm going to have so much fun pleasuring them, and as always, they can get me on my knees, go for as many rounds as they want, and finish wherever they want. Okay, so me and Lily this Friday the 20th are going to be outside Coco Tang from 4 o'clock, and we want to pleasure you. So whether you are a uni student, a group of friends, you've just turned 18 years old, or you're a virgin, we want to give you a good time. So come and get us on our knees, let us pleasure you, and we'll see you there.
I mean, look, we can question what's real and what's fake in terms of the actual videos or the stories or the things that she is saying, but this right here, posts like this, these are real. Like, these are parties that did actually happen. The pre-drinks being described here at this location, drinks on me or whatever, this is all real. Like, there's no way she posted this and no one went and there was just nothing that went on. She posted this and people in Nottingham, it wouldn't surprise me if some sick fucks outside of Nottingham fucking traveled specifically for this as well. Like, this happened, right? And this is the thing, right? The people who are supporting this woman and actually turning up to these bastard events are just as much to blame as Bonnie herself for her fame, in my opinion. Because Bonnie's not famous for her comedy or being funny or being particularly entertaining or having a fun-to-watch personality, if that makes sense. She's not even like a successful porn star in the traditional sense, as far as I'm aware at least. It seems to me as though the only reason that she is popular is because she shags teenagers. So presumably, if there were less teenagers at the very least who were willing to do this, she wouldn't have the fame that she... Like, it's not fucking women watching her, is it? I understand that there's an argument that sexual liberation is a good thing for women and that they've been fighting for it for, like, years now, which is true to an extent, but I also feel as though, you know, men showing emotion and crying every now and then is a good thing, right? That's a good thing, and men should be encouraged and allowed to do such a thing. But that being said, if they were to cry for 12 hours a day, then it would become a problem. All this is doing is giving people who are already against that sort of liberation for women more reason to be against said liberation, because they're going to point towards Bonnie Blue and go, look, this is what you wanted, and look how it's turned out. I mean, I'll tell you this for free, Bonnie Blue is certainly not a girl's girl. She's not even a man's girl either. She's just more of a boy's girl, because realistically, it's only little boys that are responsible for her fame. Like, yeah, there might be some adults in there, but, like, let's be real, those adults are just little boys. Because to interact with this content in any meaningful way and derive any sense of entertainment from it, you would need to be a little boy. Like, if this was a bloke doing it, no matter who it was or how attractive they were, it would never work. Like, if there was a bloke, a really famous one, doing this kind of thing on their stories, it would never, not in a million years would it ever work. But unfortunately, men are just that fucking easy where it doesn't even need to be Bonnie. Any woman could do this and it would probably work. It's just Bonnie Blue is one of the few people who lack the humility, the integrity to be opposed to doing something like this. But realistically, any girl probably could.
And Bonnie has got countless guys lined up ready to us.
Right, so this bloke here has posted a story on his public Instagram, I guess boasting about the fact that he managed to get with these two. Let's have a look at this Instagram account and see if it's an influencer or just a random boy. Okay, they have over 17,000 followers, so it seems as though they are an actual sort of influencer to an extent, which is shockingly probably a good thing that it's not just a random bloke, because it gives more credibility to the theory that it's not just random students showing up to these things. But then when you watch the videos, it's like the chances of all of those people being paid actors is genuinely quite slim, so I really can't say. And I feel as though it's more my hope that they are not real students that is sort of protruding or obstructing my logical self, because if this was something to happen, there would definitely be a certain category of teenagers who go, like, meet up with their pals, like, oh yeah, we should definitely go to that fucking thing, right? There'd definitely be a lot of people who go to it for a laugh, or go to it ironically, but it's like, yeah man, I'm sure you are.
I took 37 uni boys in one night. I took 23 in one go. I also took virginities and new groups of friends. So boys, thanks for letting me pleasure you.
Glory Holes Golf Nottingham had Bonnie Blue as a special guest, right? What is this? Glory Holes Golf. It's a miniature golf course. An actual business in Nottingham has invited Bonnie Blue over. I don't know what kind of reputable brand would want Bonnie Blue associated with them. Like me personally, if I got a sponsor opportunity, if I got an email that came through and it was like, look, I want to sponsor your channel, I'll tell you a bit more about what I do. So what I do personally is exploit barely legal teens who, if the legal age was any younger, I would lower the age that I was shagging. As much as I, or probably you, wouldn't want to sign up to that sort of business opportunity, apparently Glory Holes Golf in fucking Nottingham disagrees with me.
Do you want to spend 2 minutes with me alone, or double it and pass it to the next person? So do you want to be nice to your family and give them longer with me, or are you going to be selfish and do 2 minutes?
Selfish.
You're selfish?
Yeah.
And what would you do to me in 2 minutes? Tell me. Are you going to destroy me? I think we should put it to the test. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you have your ID with you?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go!
Let me get my keys. Would you recommend me to a friend?
100 million%.
And what about to all your family members that are queuing out there?
Everybody, it's worth it.
Yeah?
It's worth the wait. You're extremely worth the wait. You're sexy as well.
Did you manage to destroy me though in those 2 minutes?
Not in the 2 minutes, but if I had longer with you, you get destroyed.
Exactly. He's going to come back and go again.
100%.
Thank you.
This is partly why I didn't make a video on this as well, is because I really don't know what to fucking say about this. Like, is it real? There's just no way. Every bone in my body, the fucking soul, the depths of my intuition says this can't be real. There is no family in the world where this is a thing that can happen without anyone being disowned or any conflict arising. I can't imagine acting this way around my fucking family, whether it's my brother or my sister or my parents. It's like, oh god, it's so odd. I think I'm done with that Instagram account. Anyway, let's hear what else Bonnie Blue has to offer.
One of the best things about my job is showing people the videos and the aftermath of what I've created. But wouldn't it be so much better if I brought barely legal girls to watch it and they can see it in person? Well, that's what I'm doing this Sunday. They're going to watch it with their own eyes.
I don't think that would be so much better, I genuinely don't, mate. Like, I appreciate the sort of, I guess, question there, but, you know, my honest answer, I don't think that would make it any better. What kind of fucking offer is that, by the way? Like, what kind of girl would get an offer like that and go, oh, you want me to be in the same room and just watch as a bunch of 18 and 19-year-olds shag you? I mean, not that getting involved would make it any more enticing, but it's just a very strange and ludicrous request that I cannot imagine anybody actually partaking in. It's the barely legal thing that really gets to me, though. It's like the overusage of that term, barely legal, makes it so obvious to me what her intentions are, and I'm sure it makes it obvious to everyone what the intentions are, which is to garner attention, to garner hatred, right? She's not looking for support. She hasn't made these videos thinking like, oh yeah, people are gonna love this. She made these videos knowing I am feeding into one of the most toxic, manipulative, abusive workspaces on the planet right now. That I'm feeding into that. I'm gonna get decent, virtuous people who want to stop that sort of abuse talking about me because I'm perpetuating it. I'm gonna get misogynists talking about me as well because they hate me and they want to use me as some sort of method to prove their point. She's got every single possible genre of person talking about her. And people are quick to call her like a business genius as well. Like, oh, she's an arsehole, she's doing a bad thing, but you gotta admit, it's kind of genius. It's like, no, it's not. Any fucker could do this. It's just that most people people have enough integrity, have enough, I guess, sort of self-respect to not do this.
If he's just turned 18, can I see him today?
Well, would you do it for free?
Yeah, do it for free. I would want to watch his toes curls while I suck the religion out of him.
First of all, there is no religion to suck out of someone who has willingly come to one of your events. There's no religion in any of those people. As far as I can tell, there's no religion in the world that advocates for turning up to Bonnie Blue's barely legal party events. I mean, to think, this just popped into my mind as well. People are like grouping her with Sydney Sweeney and Sabrina Carpenter because of the recent album cover, which, you know, there are opinions here nor there talking about whether or not it's fine or whether or not it's harmful. Let's say it's as harmful as it could possibly be. It's still nowhere near the same fucking playing field as what Bonnie Blue's doing. And neither is Sydney Sweeney. Like, they are in a different league. And if you put Bonnie Blue on the same level as any of those two, I don't think you deserve to be a part of this conversation, quite frankly. I'm hearing Snapchat notifications, by the way. Just, you know, not to be a dick, but it's not great PR for Snapchat. I know people don't like when I keep bringing up how Snapchat is an awful app used by terrible, degenerate people. But all I'm saying is, you don't hear any, you know, there's not one normal notification here. There's not like a Facebook noti sound, even just a phone notification sound. The only fucking notification sounds here are strictly Snapchat ones. I think that really says something. I wonder if those people are talking to each other at all. Like, do they have conversation? Do they have small talk in the line? The fact that their faces aren't being shown could, I guess, one, either be a sign that it's real because, you know, they don't want to get into any legal trouble by showing their actual faces, but also it could maybe be a sign that it's fake because they don't want to show the faces because they're actually actors. But maybe that's wishful thinking, because like I said earlier, there are actual videos of some of these events going down, and I, unfortunately, have subjected myself to a few of those videos purely for the purpose of research. And when I say that I did it for research, I don't mean in like the meme-y, oh yeah, I'm researching. I mean, no, I genuinely wanted to educate myself for the topic that I'm talking about today. I wasn't sat there fucking pondering like, ooh, let me get my magnifying glass and look into every frame of this video. I skimmed through a lot of it, right? That's probably why I've waited so long to make this video as well, because I didn't want to go through that bastard Twitter account.
Of Mario Void, KSI, Aiden Ross, and Kai Cenat. KSI gives BBC vibe.
When I look at KSI, he looks like the kind of guy who would just like fuck me and then come in my mouth and maybe not kiss me after.
Oh,
So,
yeah, can you imagine him running off?
I could imagine
Yeah.
me being like, and him being like, bitch, brush your teeth. I will just him. I'll marry the other one, Kai Cenat. Even though I can't say his name, I'm so sorry.
That was hilarious. That was, guys, I don't know about you, but that was a fucking great joke. Because his name's Kai Cenat, but she said Kai Cenat. Which is definitely something worth laughing at, because once again, that's not how you actually pronounce his name. It's closer to cyanide, which I'd fancy a bit of that right now. Imagine talking about, like, creators like that. Imagine if I sat down and spoke about fucking YouTubers like this. I'm not even gonna use any names in this example, because that'll just be fucking so weird. But if I were to sit here with a pal and bring up YouTubers and be like, ooh, this YouTuber seems like the type of person that would just fucking duck. But this YouTuber seems like the type that would just ejaculate and evacuate. But then this one I feel like you could have a loving relationship with for about 6 months before they cheat on you. It's like, fuck me, these aren't cartoon, you know, these are real people. Like, imagine if, oh god, because I'm imagining now, like, I don't think I ever want to be at that level of fame, because I'm gonna have, if I was, people would be talking about me like that. Imagine if people talked about you like this in front of millions of people.
KSI, because he's got a big group of friends. So I'm thinking, bang on the regular, that would be a good idea. Snog, Kai Cenat, if he's giving BBC vibes, then, you know, can slip a hand down there as well, just to double check. And then I'll avoid the other guy.
Yeah, Aiden Ross. Sorry, Aiden.
Sorry.
I mean, that's a major W for Aiden Ross, to be fair. Probably the only one he's ever taken. Anyway, after this, I think the next controversy was justice supposedly being served, but I mean, as you can probably tell, or if you're familiar with the story at all, it sadly wasn't real. But the popo came in more ways than one. Okay, so people actually did believe this when it happened. Like, I remember this video going around and people really buying it. And I'm not just saying this because hindsight is 2020, but it was so obviously a bunch of hooey. When you look at the caption, as you may have seen, Tia has been arrested. We still don't have clarity on the situation, but we'll keep you all in the loop as soon as we know. What do you mean you don't have clarity on the situation? What, the police came and arrested her just for no reason? They didn't say, you are being arrested under suspicion of X X and Y. They just went, oh shit, Bonnie Blue, let's hire an arrest over there. Let's fill the fucking quota, why not?
Have you got any visible marks,
prison was
scars, or
meant to be
tattoos?
hard, but this looks like a lot of fun.
What's your date of birth? What's your favourite age?
What's your date of birth? What's your favorite age? Was a question that the fake cop asked. What's your favorite age? What the fuck does that even mean? Like, there was no punchline either. I guess maybe did she forget her line? Or did he fuck up the line? What could you possibly have meant to say there? How old are you? What is your age? What is your favorite age? I don't know why I'm so transfixed on that one point. The whole point is that, yeah, the arrest was fake and it was just a set for her new porn video, which I actually have, again, purely for research, I actually did come across this one and give it up. I didn't watch the whole video again. I skimmed through it. But yeah, I have seen this. But this one is like, there's no barely legal teens involved. Like, this is just a regular porn video with a lot of adults.
You're too old for her.
What? Don't touch the predator again. Okay. Sorry.
Like, the videos are so awkward that it's just so obviously made for commentary videos to point out how awkward it is. And that's why I feel bad, or weird at the very least, commenting on it, because I know that's the goal. By sitting here and going like, oh my god, this is so weird, all I'm doing is partaking in the fucking scheme that she has set up for me. She has set a booby trap, and I've fallen right fucking into it. I mean, look, as daft as the other stuff was, I guess the marketing here was clever in a way, because people really did believe she was arrested, and when it was revealed to be a whole scheme, people were surprised, right? And I'm sure it did drive a lot of sales for that video or whatever, or her OnlyFans or whatever the fuck. More on that OnlyFans later, because she did recently get banned. But yeah, for this situation in particular, there was no solicitation of barely legal teens. There were no barely legal teens even involved. It was all just her and a bunch of other paid pornographic actors. So in the grand scheme of her career, this situation in particular isn't as bad. Like, if it wasn't for the whole previous barely legal teen bollocks, and the only people who would have an issue with this are people who have an issue with sex work or pornography already in general. Anyone who is fine or supportive of those topics wouldn't really bat an eye at something like this without the previous stuff in their mind. Or maybe I can't speak for them, but me personally, that's how I would feel. Like, I'd sit there and think, you know what, it's not my thing, like, at all, but whatever, I guess. Then she went to the Bop House, and this was another huge scandal, if you want to call it that. So yeah, she picked that lassie Julia there for one of, or maybe a couple of reasons. Like, one, and most obviously, and worst, is that she looks the youngest of all the Bop House girls. And this is just another reason why the whole thing is so grim, because it's one of those situations where if the legal age was any younger, you know that she'd be going for people of that age as well. Now, that's part of the issue with people who, like, have a type for barely legal people, if that makes sense. Like, there's an argument that a lot of creeps make where it's like, well, what's the problem? They're past the age of consent. There's no issue with it legally, but it's like, yeah, well, the issue is if the age of consent was any lower, they would just go for that age as well then. Like, they are specifically reaching for people who are as young as they can possibly go for. Whether that be because they know that they're more naive and easily manipulated, or because they just have an interest physically in that type of person. You know what? Probably both. Fuck 'em. I don't know why I'm giving people like that the benefit of the doubt.
What's the smallest and biggest you've had, Julia?
Honestly, like, you know my type. You know, so like...
Yes. For those that don't know at home, BBCs, which stands for Big Black.
Something Ryan is striving for at the moment.
It actually is like... It's like
it's
blue.
getting
it's
there.
like
blue. His knob is blue. To be fair, that is still a BBC, but... Like, I mean, I'm just in awe at the minute because this banter is so witty and enjoyable and fun to watch. Why did he say black with so much vim there? Ah, she loves BBC, which for those who don't know is a big black cock. That might be the first genuine laugh I've got out of this video, and it definitely was not because of a joke they were telling. It's just because of the, like, why does he say black like that, man?
BBCs, which stands for Big Black.
Why does he say it like that, man? It sounds like he was just doing a cough with a particularly phlegmy cough.
Bonnie, 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 Bonnie. Yes. Come on, boys, have a good fuck.
Sweet and innocent.
Seen one guy there he is, just completely getting aired. I don't know who he's trying to high five there. Maybe Bonnie herself, but he's just been pied off completely. Oh, he gave up as well. He didn't even save it with like a, ooh, high five. Neck's a little itchy, or my personal favorite, oh, high five. and then just sort of turn it into a clap. He didn't get out for it, man. That's not smooth at all. No wonder he has to fucking pay to shag Bunny Blue. I actually don't think that's what's happening here, though. I think these people are getting paid to shag Bunny Blue. Or maybe it's a fucking... I don't know. I don't know what the interpersonal dynamics are between the people on screen right now. Quite frankly, I don't really care. This is once again, I don't think one of the situations where there's barely legal teens involved or people being solicited to come over. I think this is like the police one, more just a bunch of pornographic actors participating in another day's work. I think, and I need to make that clear, I truly don't know, but I can tell you one thing for free, this is yet another one of the videos where I have actually seen the video in question, and I don't say that with a smile on my face, as you can see. I love smiling. I smile all the bastard time. I almost smile there, but I don't want to. Like, this don't deserve happiness.
So I know I told you you could just watch, but I think it's better if you join in.
I'm not built like you.
No, but you will be. Guys, take her. She's ready to be stretched.
Oh my
I
god.
cannot wait to teach a virgin girl. Before just guys, but barely legal bop girls. Turns me on to another level.
Okay, so they have just acted out a scene in which Julia does not want to be shagged by all these people, but she is forced to. So, on top of soliciting barely legal teens to shag her, they're also simulating rape now, which is bloody lovely. I'm sure you'll all agree. What a great example this woman is for people.
Let's give Bonnie a challenge. She has to do 3 things in the middle of it, okay? And
Oh, good.
at one point, she has to scream Justin Bieber as loud as she can.
Justin Bieber.
Scare them, scare them.
All right?
Oh, no,
Justin Bieber! No context, just scream it. And then what's your favorite song? You're from the UK?
Yeah.
Adele?
Just start singing.
You gotta
Just
sing
start
someone like
singing.
you. Number 3, I want you to take a dick and slap it on your face as hard as you can.
Okay, well, I don't want to break it.
Why is she so disgusted by yelling Justin Bieber's name out? Like, that's too far for you, is it? The rest is fine. You know, you'll shag 1,000 men in one day, which we'll get to later. But saying Justin Bieber's name during any of those interactions, whoa, that's just too far. Like, you can only ask so much of a woman.
I had a barely legal bop girl as a fluffer yesterday. She even brushed my hair mid-scene.
How old is Julia? She's, because I don't think she is actually barely legal. I think they're lying about her age to entice people who are interested in barely legal girls. She's fucking 23. She's older than me. She's 23 years old, man. So yeah, she's full of shit. She's full of shit. Like, she's not even barely not that I'm complaining, by the way. Not that I'm like, oh, the lack of integrity here is crazy. Like, they should have got an actual 18-year-old to participate in this video. That's not what I'm mad about. But it's like, why lie about it? Because all that does, but then again, it's like, it's what she wants. She wants people to be mad. This is why I feel like a prick. You know what? I'm gonna donate $1,000 from the ad revenue made from this video. I'll donate it to a domestic violence charity, Women's Aid. I've donated to them before. So that I guess something good could come out of this whole thing. Because I do feel bad adding to what Bunny Blue clearly wants by making a video on her. So $1,000 to Women's Aid to, I guess, derive some sort of positive from this. And also to help some people out. I think I'd feel a bit more justified in making this video if I knew that some of the money made from it would actually go to a good cause and not just bolstering Bonnie's popularity.
She was so sweet, so innocent, and got those guys so excited that they provided with me with the biggest loads I have ever seen.
Just so you know, a fluffer is like a porn PA, right? Someone who keeps the blokes erect, keeps the gal, like, looking decent, does their hair or whatever. Just keeps things flowing naturally, if that makes sense. And unfortunately, like I said, I have actually seen parts of this video. It's like, it's just video of, I don't know why I'm about to describe this. Skip ahead a couple seconds if you don't want the description of this. I might just cut it out because YouTube might demonetize the video if I describe it. But it's just video of Bonnie Blue. It is quite aggressive, performing oral on some boys, and then it like pans over to Julia, who has a face of what can only be described as consternation at least, and at worst, trauma. Like there's genuine trauma and fear in that face. According to her, she had to go to therapy afterwards and is still in therapy to this day because of the whole experience. I don't know if that's a marketing tactic or if it's genuine. Either which way, it wouldn't surprise me though.
I just want to be able to see you in the corner. Like, I want to be on my back, see you in the corner, and that'll make it so I don't need and it'll get me wet.
You know what? I'm gonna order some popcorn, Uber Eats. Let's get some drinks.
Can this fucking guy, like, okay, Bunny's a weirdo, but we already know that. This guy needs to just fucking, this guy needs to fuck off. What is he doing? He just keeps making, like, shit jokes and intervening at points where no one needs him to intervene. I realize that I'm describing myself to a lot of people.
Feel like a horror movie. This isn't a horror movie, though. This is a great movie.
I mean, I want you
horror
to be
movie.
scarred from it, so it can be a horror movie if you want.
Thank you, Royce. Horror movie.
I'm gonna have to have like therapy on speed
I
dial for
thought that was
you.
a good
No,
one.
that was good. I got on. I just got on. I just got on.
That was a good, yeah, it was a really good one, mate. Fucking keep going. You're so funny. Who the fuck is this guy? Like, his name isn't anywhere on these videos. I have no idea where he's from. I've never seen him before. I've never seen him since. He's just I feel, is he just a random guy who was in the room or owns the building or they just picked him out from the street? I'm so curious as to who he is and how he feels about this whole thing and how his family feel about his career choices. How does he go home and explain to whoever he lives with, if anyone, what he's done at work today?
Like, I was freaking out. Like, if you do see a clip, I'm actually like like this the whole time. Like, I brushed her hair.
But you were in the scene with all the guys.
Yeah, the hate is unreal, and I do regret it. I do regret it. I love her to death and her managers, but I'm so traumatized.
Yeah.
Imagine 25 is around you and you're like this.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to think about that at all. Like, I saw that and immediately I was like, I felt like you shouldn't have been invited there.
Like, yeah, traumatized or whatever. Then to add the, I love her manager, she's a great, it's like, so you love someone who literally solicits people who are barely legal, but you love her and you love her managers as well, which is just, I mean, the Bop House, we know the Bop House's fucking ethics from the whole Piper Raquel situation. They're a bunch of mugs. Like they're just as bad as Bunny Blue. Like, let's not act as though there's any sort of moral superiority on either end here. Same can be said for anybody who is willingly associating or endorsing the two either, as well, by the way, or collaborating with them in a way that isn't combative. Anyway, next comes the 1,000 men stunt, which I'm sure you've all heard of at some point, but let's actually dig deep into it.
But today I'm going to be stretched out a lot. I cannot wait to be leaving here in a wheelchair. I don't know if it's medically possible to be able to take all of these at once.
So that was directly before the supposed event, or I guess world record breaking circumstance, whatever you want to fucking call it, the 1,000 men incident. That was right before it, allegedly. And it's just occurring to me now that one big factor for why I think these videos aren't as real as they are made out to be is that she's still doing them and hasn't contracted any STDs or STIs, at least publicly, and I'm sure privately as well. Like, she wouldn't be doing these events if she did have some sort of infection or disease. The fact that she hasn't caught anything does make me feel as though the majority of people, at least, are actual people in the industry who have been tested and are known to be completely clean. Like, there's no way people are genuinely just walking into a room with her, not, you know, going through any sort of process, just showing their ID every now and then doing the deed and fucking off. There's just no chance in hell. If that was genuinely what was happening, there would have been at least one psychopath who physically assaults her, lies about their sexual health history. Something would have gone wrong. For everything to have gone as smoothly as it did, it makes me feel as though not everything is entirely authentic, which, to be clear, is a good thing. Well, not a good thing, but a better thing than the alternative, if that makes sense.
Out of the 1,000 men, there was a lot of barely legal boys. Do you not have a problem with the fact that they're literally borderline underage?
No, because they're 18.
But they're still children.
Yeah, but they're 18.
What if he was 17?
Well, then no, because that'd be illegal.
Would you still, if it wasn't on camera?
No.
No, so your limit is 18 years old.
I don't think that would be illegal. In the UK, this is not me going like, oh no, you should do the 17-year-olds, because it would be illegal. I just think factually that is incorrect. I think 17 is still legal here in the UK. And she definitely knows that, by the way. She definitely knows that. So I don't know if this is maybe catering to an American audience, but then in my mind, for someone who wants to stir up as much controversy as possible, I feel as though even she would, like, does she have at least some semblance of integrity to not lie about shagging 17-year-olds, to give further shock value to the American audience who might see that as a lot worse than, or even illegal? I don't know if I'm phrasing that correctly, but hopefully that makes some sort of sense. Generally, worldwide, the age of consent is 18. In the UK, that's different. It's 16, right? But the fact that she isn't willing to go for 17-year-olds 18-year-olds, and I'm not even sure if she's doing 18-year-olds or whatever, or if that's just sort of a marketing tactic. It's just interesting. Like, that is genuinely quite interesting. And I don't mean interesting like the fucking 7 Wonders of the World are interesting. I mean interesting insofar as, like, she's such a shameless piece of shit that for her to almost have some semblance of ethical consideration is strange. And when I say some semblance, I really do mean like the smallest, tiniest bit of semblance. Anyway, here's the apparent aftermath, like direct aftermath of the 1,000 men.
What hurts more, your mouth or your...
Probably done that a little bit. I don't need a wheelchair, like I am fine. Just feels like I've had a heavy day in the bedroom, which is exactly what I've had. I think if it had continued how it did for the first sort of 3-4 hours, I would have struggled.
Let's get a round of applause in the room, people. There we go.
Okay, so once again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record here, but I have seen the video of said event taking place, or at least the trailer for it, because the whole thing hasn't been released, and I have a conspiracy theory as to why, because it didn't fucking happen. Like, let's be real here. Let's not sensationalize this bullshit. She did not shag 1,000 guys in a 12-hour period. She claims it was a 12-hour period. It's just not possible. Like, anyone who is acting as though they believe that is either purely acting like they believe it to add drama or sensation to the whole story to make a better or more entertaining commentary video in their eyes, or they're just genuinely fucking stupid. She hasn't I'm sorry, she just hasn't done it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that for a second. You can't shag 1,000 men in 12 hours. It's just not possible. And especially not coming out looking the exact same as when you went in. Especially if they're all unverified people who weren't paid or actors, right? If these are just random people, something would have gone wrong. Like, it just would have. You know what? Fuck, let's take a break on Bonnie Blue and actually do some maths here, because maths is actually like a service to the world, right? There's something good about it, so it's a shame that we need to sacrilegiously use it for something as degenerate as this, but let's calculate how much time each guy would have had with her. So 1,000 guys, 12-hour period, right? 12 hours, you got 60 minutes in 1 hour, times that by 12, it's 720 minutes. I think we do 720 divided by 1,000, that's about 43 seconds, maybe a little over. So each guy would have 43 seconds, roughly, with Bonnie Blue. But let's yield a changeover time of 5 seconds, which is very fucking generous, by the way. Let's assume it only took 5 seconds in between each person. That gives each bloke about 38 seconds of time with Bonnie Blue. So the only way for this to work under the law of averages is that someone entered the room, spent 36 seconds shagging her, and then moved away, and within the next 5 seconds, someone else did the same thing, and that went on indefinitely for 12 hours, constant loop, and nothing went wrong. There's just not a fucking chance in hell. Bottom line is, I just don't. I think it's a load of bollocks. I mean, there definitely were a load of bollocks in the room. I'm not disputing that, but not 1,000 pairs.
There was no point I wanted to stop. And even when it ended, I was like, happy because it had been the most successful day, everyone had an amazing time. But I was like, okay, wow, like I want to do that again. Like, I thought it'd be a thing I'd do once and not consider again. And I even joked, I was like, shall we make this a weekly thing? Like, it was like Christmas Day on repeat for me. I loved it.
See, this is another, fucking hell, The Sun reported at this. The Sun reported this. Jesus Christ, that's like big time news in the UK. Anyway, I mean, that is just further proof that the whole thing is a lie, right? Like, she is either lying about having enjoyed it or lying about the number of men that partook in it and the amount of time that she has stated. Or maybe it's both. Maybe she's lying about both. Because if that actually were to happen, and if there were 1,000 men going in 35 seconds each, I'm sorry, but you just wouldn't have enjoyed it. I've never been a woman before who gets shagged by 1,000 men, but I'm sorry, I feel as though I can say pretty definitively that there is no one on the planet who would genuinely come out of that experience and go, yes, that was nice, I would like to do that again, I had fun the entire time. At the very least, at best, you'd be fucking bored. You just sat there for 12 hours. What are you doing? You just sort of sat there in missionary, and a bunch of guys are in a line, they just go at you for 30 seconds, then move on? That's not what happened. I've seen the alleged videos, and it's more like 50 people are like stood around. I'm not, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not describing it. I don't need to. I don't want to.
Does it not hurt after so many men though?
I love being by strangers, so no. Like, obviously, if it ever hurt, I can say, hey, I want to have a break. I'm the one that's in control, so if I want to have a break, I could. But to me, the idea of just having like men after men after men, I'm like, whoa, turns me on.
Again, I don't have a vagina, so I can't say for certain, but I feel like it's not a bold statement of me to make that it would definitely hurt after 12 hours straight. It would fucking hurt. It would hurt like a bitch. Why is this one fucking guy like kissing her armpit? I don't know why I'm shocked at that. Like, anyone who's willing to partake in this, that should be the least of my bastard worries. I will say though, none of their faces are blurred, which to me is telling, because like there's no way that someone would willingly agree to be a part of this and be like, oh yeah, show my face in front of the millions of people. I want everyone to know that I took part in this event. There's no way. These have to be actors. They have to be. In the video I saw, the last guy who done it was like, he was like some English bloke who was just sort of laying down, doing whatever, and just sort of monologuing to the camera, like I am right now as it happened. It was a very bizarre video. It was really strange. But I feel like that's not something you do if you're just a normal bloke with no camera presence or experience on camera. That's something you do when you've been in the industry or know how to act, you know, out of experience for at least a while. It wasn't that kid's first day on the job, I'll put it that way. He wasn't a kid either. Anyway, like every other horrible fucking person, she's done an interview with Camilla because the Bob House want to be more involved than they already were.
You slept with 1,000 men, not 999, in 12 hours.
No, she didn't.
57. I hit the 1,000 and there's still 57 men queuing. I couldn't say to them, sorry guys, I know you've just put in a long shift waiting, you've brought your packed lunch, you need to go home. Of course, I was like, welcome in.
Bollocks. 1,057 is just, there's no chance. That means they had less than 8 seconds or whatever my calculations were. Aftermath of the room, Bonnie Blue claims to have had sex with 1,057 men in 12 hours. Could you imagine the fucking smell? That must smell like, you know when you go in for PE in like secondary school and you forget your kit and your PE teacher goes like, you forgot your PE kit, go to the spare room and get a kit, and you go into the spare room and it is the most disgusting, disease-ridden fucking cesspile you've ever seen in your goddamn life, because the spare, I don't know if you have that in America, but here there's the spare kit room is other people who have forgotten their kit in the school, like a pair of shorts or a pair of socks or whatever. They just fucking take it all and put it in a room for if you forget to bring your kit to school. It never fucking fits you. It's disgusting. Like, it looks like this and it probably smells like this as well.
This is the day after I've just broken another world record. My skin glowing, so thank you boys so much. Fluid. My eyes are still a little bit swollen. I think I had that much in my eyes, like I could not see the camera at all. But yeah, not so red today. A few marks, a few bruises on my leg, but apart from that, I'm ready for round 3.
I knew someone once who, like, in a hospital, they got checked in taking that substance that she's referring to on the eyes as well, but I don't know if the bloke was maybe eating poorly or some sort of, I guess, ingestion issue or something, but it wasn't healthy, and when she, like, did this or looked up or whatever, I guess it sort of, like, protruded through her eyelids and invaded into, like, her actual headspace, which meant she had to go to the hospital and get it, like, removed by the nurses, who were laughing giddily as they were doing it. It was a strange experience at work that day. I'll put it that way. I wasn't in the room for it, just to be clear. I wasn't the one doing the procedure. I wasn't a nurse, right? I want to make that clear. I was just a clerk. And thank fuck for that, by the way. The bloke was there as well, by the way, too. Like, for emotional support or whatever. And it was strange, because it was one of them situations where it was like, okay, she has this problem, and we're all looking at this guy like, you are the source of this issue here. Are we meant to, like, give you advice to make your ejaculate healthier and less harmful? Should we recommend that she wears goggles the next time they do anything? Yo, unironically, that would actually be a great way to avoid shit like that happening if you put fucking goggles on. He didn't even look like particularly embarrassed either, which is shot. Like, if that was me, I wouldn't want to look anyone in the eye. I'd be too ashamed to.
This is what my face looks like after taking 1,000 men 12 hours ago. I told you girls, taking fluids for moisturizer was good for your skin.
No, there is no scientific evidence to support the claim that semen is beneficial for the skin. While semen does contain some compounds like zinc and proteins, which are found in some skincare products, the concentration of these substances in semen is very low. Applying semen to the skin carries risks, including potential allergic reactions and the transmission of sexually transmitted infections. So yeah, for anyone who was planning to take her advice and use that for skincare, be warned. I'm sure, I mean, there goes your plans for Saturday, I'm sure. It certainly foiled my plans for later tonight. That was what I was gonna do. Thank fuck for Google, eh? Okay, sorry you had to see that now. I'm not even gonna fucking read the caption. My bad. Sorry.
1,000 penises into one vagina in 12 hours is disgusting.
Well, the more you talk about it, the more it turns me on.
You'd fuck an old man.
Oh yeah, of course I would. Old men deserve sex. I mean, a wife might be dead.
I don't discriminate whether you're married, 18 or 80. I'll take anybody.
Why is I don't like the caption here. They've just captioned this women. Like, this is a normal thing that women do. This is what I meant. Like, fucking good people hate her, bad people hate her, misogynists hate her, women's rights activists fucking hate her. There's no one who likes her. And that is very obviously the goal here. And that's part of the problem that people have with this entire pattern of behavior, is that it gives misogynists and people who are against the liberation and rights that women are fighting for, right? It gives people who are against that more of a reason to be against that and make videos like this and attribute the behavior to the entire fucking gender. Half the bastard planet.
A man who queued with 1,000 others to sleep with adult worker Bonnie Blue has shared his experience. 42-year-old Ali Walker was eventually put off by the scenes that greeted him at the OnlyFans star's world record attempt outside a mansion in central London. Most men were seen to be wearing bank robber-style balaclavas to disguise their faces. Shocked by the scene, he said, "There was around 30 to 40 guys around her at any one time, all taking turns. She was surrounded by guys. There were so many guys there and I'm quite shy. I've never been involved in anything like that, so I didn't get involved." He theorised that he may have been the oldest there, with describing a lot of guys being in their late teens to early 20s. Bonnie has faced backlash on social media for claiming that she sleeps with barely legal 18-year-olds and suggesting that men should cheat on their wives.
Yeah, see, that could just be marketing. They could have just got some random bloke to say that they were a part of the whole thing and saw it to give it more credibility. Because once again, I don't believe that they were all genuine people who just heard about it and showed up, showed their ID, and had no interaction with them or no interaction with the industry and just went for it. I think that's just marketing or some sort of tactic to add validity to the story. I don't think it's as real as they're making it out there. But again, man, I can't say for sure. Like, I really can't. I also noticed there was a couple people in that fucking line in bare feet, which is like, man, if you want to contract malaria or any other form of horrible disease in, like, if you want to speed run death, then show up to that room in bare feet, man. Have at it.
No, we'll just put your face in it. Bunny.
Okay.
I'm just gonna give you the Just G beanie.
Oh, okay.
You're certified now.
Certified?
Yeah. Put it on.
Oh, I can't, I mean, but then I'm naked.
No, the beanie is a hat.
Right, okay, well, my nipples are out then. Okay.
We'll hit it.
I'm sick of this. I don't even want to fucking bother. One issue I have as well is people who are anti-sex work or anti-giving sex workers labor rights or the rights of any other job. People who are pro-abolishing the entire industry, using Bonnie Blue as I guess, reasoning for that, as reasoning for why the industry doesn't deserve to exist. There is such an insane fight between sex workers and the governments of a lot of Western countries right now to get those rights, and people like Bonnie Blue are incredibly selfishly and maliciously ripping those rights away from them, making that battle so much longer fought and difficult to actually achieve, which the reason why it's so harmful is because Bonnie Blue is like top porn star in the world, the most famous one, the richest one, the one who is most well off, the one where if something goes wrong, she has enough money, enough fame to make a stink about it and actually sort of, I guess, regain her career or come out, you know, on the better end, right? She's not fucked, right? She'll be okay. Whereas a smaller, less known, more independent sex worker, for example, without those rights, if something goes wrong in their life, or they have a client who's abusive, or, you know, there's some sort of workplace abuse, or something goes wrong, right? I'll put it that way. They're fucked, because they don't have an audience of millions of people that they can come and tell the story to. They don't have the amount of money to where they can improve their situation. If they get fucked over, they get fucked over because there's no union, there's no labor rights, there's nothing for them. Bonnie Blue is actively making her industry worse and making the lives of sex workers who are genuinely trying to provide a living for themselves far, far harder. Like, this is having a negative knock-on effect on the entire industry and also just women in general, especially to the American audience that she's catering to, which is a country that is becoming more and more right-leaning, unfortunately, with the fucking, you know, the insane ICE raids that are going on right now, the abortion rights that are straying further and further away from actually being put into place, unfortunately. It just sucks that genuinely, and I mean this because Bonnie Blue is one of the most popular women on the fucking planet right now. And when you have that much fame, that much money, that many eyes on you, you really do have the potential to use that power for good. Like, she can do good here, but she is choosing not to, to benefit nobody but herself. And it does make her a fucking scumbag. And that's why I'm making the video now, and I didn't make it before, because I was really finding it difficult to vocalize exactly what I found so infuriating about her. I feel as though I've thought about it long enough to where I can actually add something meaningful to the conversation that isn't just, this is really weird, porn is bad, this is like so weird and predatory, man. Which, yeah, like, those things are true, some of them, but it's not very deep analysis, right? It's what every fucking person says. I don't know. Once again, it's not a topic that I'm exactly the most well-educated on in the world, so if any of you think that I'm being ignorant, then as I say in all my videos, feel free to hold me accountable, educate me, let me know if I'm chatting shit or you agree with me on anything, because I do genuinely want a conversation here. But we're not done with the video, so we'll move on. And what we're moving on to is Bonnie Blue's most recent scandal. Well, I guess second most recent scandal, because the most recent one was her podcast with Andrew Tate, which we're not gonna get into this video. I feel like it's long enough, but if it does well and you just want to see it, then maybe I'll do like a live stream to it, because my all my live stream donations go to charity. So I feel as though if I did a live stream, despite giving her and Andrew Tate what they want, something good would come out of it once again. Or maybe I'll do a fucking video. Who knows, man? We'll see what happens. Maybe I put this video out and you will fucking unsubscribe and despise me and think that I got everything wrong. So, you know, I'll bear that in mind.
I'm doing Bonnie Blue's petting zoo in June.
What's a petting zoo? Do I want to know?
Yeah, I mean, you can come and watch. I'm
good.
I am going to be tied up in a glass box. The public can come use me in multiple ways.
Come like David Blaine? What do you mean in a glass box?
What is this like Sigma sort of grind set music that they're using in the background to one of the least, I mean, Sigma's a bullshit word, but from the definition of it that I'm aware of, this doesn't exactly fit that definition, if that makes sense.
It's like a zoo. I want people to be able to come and touch me.
In a box?
So it's going to be in a
Perspex box.
In a house, and then within the house is going to be a glass box.
And how big's the box? Is this like you?
Like 8 foot.
Have you seen you on Netflix?
Yeah, very much like that.
Oh, it's you in Netflix.
I love you.
Okay, yeah. I need to watch it. Okay, so a big Perspex box.
Yeah, this box is going to be filled with random strangers.
Okay, but why the box? You could just do it in a room. It just adds another element to it.
Because there's going to be some people that just want to stand back and watch. I want it to be like a zoo. I want it to be different. It's like a piece of art.
Okay, and is it free for people to come in?
Yeah, of course it's free. This is the Shizio show.
The Shizio show can suck my dick. Go fuck yourself. But yeah, man, that's the petting zoo. And it's just occurred to me now that one thing I haven't mentioned is that, yes, I do know that there are security guards. Most likely, I would hope that they're security guards for the safety of not only Bonnie Blue, because obviously you don't want bad things to her physically. You want her to be safe. So I would hope that there are bodyguards in the room that we just can't see on camera for whatever reason. If these are genuinely like random people, if they're part of the industry, if they're normal, if they're part of the industry, I understand that there's less need for a bodyguard, and the lack of bodyguard in the videos is once again evidence for them being actual actors and not real, barely legal 18-year-old uni students who've just come in on a whim. But if this petting zoo thing is actually what it was, well, it got cancelled, but if it was going to be what it is being marketed as, I would assume that there are heaps of security there if genuinely random people are entering and doing what they want to her. And if that was genuinely the plan, and then it wasn't like a marketing scheme or another trick or prank, like manufactured situation, I feel as though the reason it got cancelled is pretty obvious, which is that she didn't want to fucking die. Which I know sounds dramatic, but if it is genuinely random people entering that box, it's like, it's not ridiculous to say that it's a possibility. And I would fight anyone who disagrees with me on that. So the art piece that this is actually, I guess, somewhat in reference to, I'm not sure if this was intentional or not, but the closest thing that I could find to this, which is completely different, like this, what I'm about to show you is actual, like, performance art and not whatever the fuck Bonnie was explaining, but I'll explain it to you. So this lassie here is Marina Abramovich. In 1974, she invited a bunch of actual complete strangers to, like, in a room with her. There are a bunch of objects on the floor, and she would lay there completely stationary for 6 hours, right? They were all explained that for 6 hours, they could do whatever they pleased with her and the items in said room, right? It was a performance art piece / experimentation of the human psyche, what people would actually do if given the opportunity to do as they please for 6 hours with the objects provided, right? There were 72 objects, somewhat harmless, like roses, perfume, wine. I think there was a feather, some grapes there as well. And then there were some objects that are very harmful, like thorns and even a gun. And it's not as though the gun was empty as well. That there were bullets and knives and razors there too. I'll just read the next part of it word for word. I'm not going to explain it, right? They do a better job than I ever could. At first, audience members tested the waters, treating her to a kiss on the cheek, a hug, and offering roses, though the interactions gradually escalated. Abramovich later recounted, "What I learned was that if you leave it up to the audience, they can kill you. I felt really violated. They cut up my clothes, stuck rose thorns in my stomach, one person aimed the gun at my head, and another took it away. It created an aggressive atmosphere. After exactly 6 hours, as planned, I stood up and started walking towards the audience. Everyone ran away to escape an actual confrontation. The work is part of a larger rhythm series which explore control, rules, women's experience in a misogynistic society, and tested her ability to endure mental and physical pain, drawing on the artist's strict upbringing in post-war Yugoslavia. The performance exemplifies how far people are willing to go when given the limitless and consequence-free power to do so. It's a work that continues to challenge our views on the relationship between audience and performer, the psychology of power and violence, and the limits of artistic expression." So yeah, needless to say, pretty fucking different from what Bonnie Blue was trying to do, which was just rage bait, stir up controversy, and get fucked for attention. But yeah, that bit about people being willing to kill you if the whole thing is actually real might have been a little part of the reason of why the box plan was fucking cancelled, which is a good thing, by the way, that it was cancelled. It should not have gone down, especially if it was actually going to be what it was marketed as. Anyway, the petting zoo stunt got her banned from OnlyFans, which, as far as I'm aware, was her biggest source of revenue. She's just moved on to Fansly now. So a lot of people were sort of commenting like, oh my god, she's sort of fucked. Like, what is she gonna do now? She's just moved to another fucking platform. It's done nothing, basically. The adult content creators page was pulled due to breach of terms after her extreme challenge content crossed a line, the outlet alleged. A spokesperson for the site told the outlet that extreme challenge content is not available on OnlyFans. The spokesperson added that such content is not permitted under our acceptable use policy and terms of service. Again, this is a good thing that happened. It's good that OnlyFans at least has some semblance of ethics and morality to where they would ban someone who is wanting to do a stunt like this, not only for the safety of her, but also just for the wider ethical implications that such a stunt would lead to. Although realistically, we know it was just a corporate thing, because chances are it would have gone horribly wrong and that would have reflected badly on OnlyFans themselves. I highly doubt they did it because they actually care about anything but money, much like Bonnie Blue. That's a lie, actually. It's very obvious that Bonnie's only intention is not money. Like, she wants to be famous in the worst way possible. She wants to be infamous. So that was basically it until this podcast between Andrew Tate and Bonnie Blue got released a mere 7 hours ago. I don't have the energy to watch it right now. Like I said earlier in the video, I might watch this, whether it be on camera or not. If I don't watch it on camera, I'm not fucking watching this on my free time, like. And look, as much as I haven't seen it and you don't judge a book by its cover or whatever, I can make a pretty fucking solid guess that there isn't going to be anything in this video that is worth listening to. You've got Tweedledum and Tweedledee, Beavis and Butthead fucking level people here having a chat with you. Like, these are two awful individuals. And the fact that they both endorse and collaborate with each other speaks fucking volumes, doesn't it? So for everyone who was still on Bonnie Blue's side, despite everything, have fun defending this one. But yeah, I think that's about it for this video. I think I've spoken about this woman enough for one lifetime, and quite frankly, I don't want to talk about her anymore, especially today. Like, we're done for today, and ideally for a lot longer than just today, unless you guys really want me to talk about her more, in which case I am a slave to your requests. Speaking of community and you, which thank you for watching this far, by the way, you're a fucking real one, but I thought we could add a new segment to this channel in commemoration of moving out. I feel like a lot of old YouTubers did this thing where they would actually look at comments and bring them up in videos, and I miss that era of YouTube. It was a lot more community driven, and I feel like a lot less corporate. Like, nowadays you watch a Mr. Beast video and it just ends like that, and there's no outro, and it feels as though a family member has just been shot in front of you. Like, it leaves me with like a bleak feeling. I'll watch a YouTube video, it ends like that, and I'm there like, oh, Jesus Christ. So I thought we could end our videos with by talking about a comment, like a comment that I find notable, whether it be good, bad, funny, because today is a special occasion, I thought we could do more than a comment and look at an entire hate TikTok that was posted on me that, funnily enough, was sent to me by an old friend from school who I've not spoken to in years. I'll show you the TikTok real quick. There you go, that's the video with non-copyright music of Naz's choice in the background. Actually, no, Naz, you don't get a choice. Put the Paper Mario file select theme there. It's a channel staple. But that's all there is to it, man. Like, it's not a very complex video. It's just, Lewis McClung, me, I don't know who that third person was. Who was it? I don't know why Marsha P. Johnson, instrumental figure of the Stonewall Uprising, is in this video, but it's a bold choice to put them among 3 commentary YouTubers. I feel like we don't deserve to be mentioned in the same breath as them. So yeah, just 4 people who piss whoever posted this TikTok off a lot. But the reason this is funny to me is because an old friend from school that I haven't spoken to in years found out that I did YouTube and have this career purely from this video. So they got a TikTok on their For You page, saw me in a hate video and thought, what the fuck is Jesse doing in this video? What? I need to message him. They sent it to me, and I basically gave them an update as to where I'm at, and it was really funny. It was fucking hilarious. This is no small beans TikTok. This has like 150k likes. I feel like I finally made it when videos hating on us have that many likes. Although I will say, big ups to all of you, and I truly mean that, because when you look at the comments of this TikTok, it is all just people going, like, get Dankyjabo off this list. He's good. I like watching him. So, and honestly, that is like, it's unreal. I was reading it fucking cheesing. Dankyjabo hate will not be tolerated. There's so many of these. I'm telling you, this is like half the comment section here. But yeah, man, like on a real note, to drop the act, I guess, for a second, I don't mind people not liking me, because there's no one faker than someone who everyone likes. Like, if people don't like us, it's perfectly fine. You don't need to fucking defend us or stand for us, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. You get used to people not liking you in this fucking industry. And you get used to being called virtue signally and performative a lot of the time, which is a really strange comment to make, in my opinion, because, yeah, we are performative insofar as that we are in front of a camera and performing, because what kind of video would it be if we weren't performing? But that doesn't mean that I don't give a fuck or don't believe the words that I'm saying. And even if I didn't, even if I was completely lying about what I was saying, how the fuck would you know that? It's purely just an assumption. But hey man, just sort of part and parcel of the job really, innit? Appreciate all the love, appreciate all the hate, and yeah, fuck yeah, I think that's the end of the video. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye!